Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, good morning. This is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. The special court is due to resume its proceedings this morning in Juba following Monday's session in the ongoing Nasir incident trial of suspended first Vice President Dr. Riek Machar and his co-accused. The Commissioner of Mundri East County, Western Equatorial State, has told iRadio that local authorities have begun registering displaced people in an effort to determine their numbers and mobilize support following recent violence in Kediba and surrounding areas. And the Governor of Unity State has launched a strategic initiative aimed at resettling more than 470,000 internally displaced persons across the state. This is stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin. And now the news in detail. The special court is due to resume its proceedings this morning in Juba following Monday's session in the ongoing Nasir incident trial of suspended first Vice President Dr. Riek Machar and his co-accused. Earlier this week, the court admitted key prosecution evidence, including an autopsy report and death certificates for over 250 soldiers reportedly killed in Nasir. However, it declined a digital forensic report submitted by the prosecution, citing lack of legal basis and authorization. The report, prepared in South Africa, allegedly contained phone recordings and financial links to accused SPLM-IO members, but was dismissed over concerns about privacy, authenticity, and the absence of a legal cooperation agreement between South Sudan and South Africa. Presiding Judge Justice James Alala ruled that the forensic evidence could only be reconsidered if the expert responsible appears for cross-examination. The case continues today. The Commissioner of Mundri East County in Western Equatorial State told iRadio that local authorities have begun registering displaced people in an effort to determine their numbers and mobilize support following recent violence in Kediba and surrounding areas. Speaking from Mundri East, Commissioner John Henry gave an update on the situation after the 24th September 2025 clashes between SSPDF and opposition forces. He said many residents who had fled into the bushes are now being encouraged to return to designated centers in Kediba, Magiri, and Wande. To accommodate those returning, several temporary camps have been established in schools, churches, and nearby areas, currently hosting thousands of the displaced. Commissioner Henry described the current situation as normal, but emphasized the urgent need for health care, especially medicines and non-food items. He added that the verified data will be shared with state authorities for further action either today or early Wednesday. The commissioner also expressed concern about the impact of ongoing instability on young people's education. He went on to call for peace not only in Mundri East County but also in other parts of the country experiencing similar challenges. The Governor of Unity State has launched a strategic initiative aimed at resettling more than 470,000 internally displaced persons across the state. Dubbed as Durable Solutions Roadmap, it targets the sustainable resettlement of approximately 474,071 IDPs, many of whom have lived in protracted displacement due to conflict and environmental disasters. Speaking at the opening ceremony yesterday, Governor Riek Bim Top reaffirmed his administration's commitment to building a resilient, stable unity state through coordinated efforts with humanitarian and development partners. He said, and I quote, "Since my appointment as governor, I have made it my personal mission to lead Unity State toward recovery and long-term stability. My vision is to transform this state from a landscape of displacement into one of opportunity, recovery, and resilience," end quote. According to Governor Bim, the state government's focus goes beyond humanitarian relief, highlighting land allocation as a key component of the plan. The workshop brought together local authorities, humanitarian actors, and international partners to discuss strategies for implementing the roadmap and supporting IDPs through land provision, infrastructure development, and access to services. Governor Beam called for a strengthened coordination among stakeholders to ensure that durable solutions are not just planned but effectively realized for the displaced communities of Unity State. This is our Radio Morning News. And now to the international scene, the Chadian government has terminated its agreement with a controversial conservation organization that has the Duke of Sussex on its board of directors. It accused the charity African Parks of failing to curb poaching, ending a 15-year mandate to manage two of its protected sites in the Central African country. The Environment Ministry said African Parks had displayed an arrogant and disrespectful attitude toward the government, failing to cooperate fully with authorities. The charity said it had begun talks with the ministry to understand the government's position and explore the best way forward to support the continued protection of these landscapes that are critical for conservation. Finally, the Trump administration is warning federal workers furloughed in the government shutdown that they may not get back pay once the funding impasse ends, which some lawmakers are decrying as illegal. A memo prepared by the Office of Management and Budget says a 2019 law signed by President Donald Trump guaranteeing retroactive pay after shutdown did not apply to employees who have been temporarily asked not to report to work. On Tuesday, Trump told reporters that back pay depends on who we are talking about and that some workers don't deserve to be taken care of. About 750,000 employees are currently foregoing their regular pay as the shutdown nears the end of its first week. This is our Radio Morning News, and to end this bulletin, here's a recap of the headlines. The special court is due to resume its proceedings this morning in Juba following Monday's session in the ongoing Nasir incident trial of suspended First Vice President Dr. Riek Machar and his co-accused. The Commissioner of Mundri's County, Western Equatorial State, told our radio that local authorities have begun registering displaced people in an effort to determine their numbers and mobilize support following recent violence in Kediba and surrounding areas. And the Governor of Unity State has launched a strategic initiative aimed at resettling more than 470,000 internal displaced persons across the state. That's the end of our Radio Morning News. If there is a story or an event you'd like our radio to cover or report about, please send us a text message at +211 925 287 It's also our WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba. Like our Facebook page, iRadio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iRadio.org. Stay tuned for news in Arabic at 8 o'clock. I am Lasuba Memo. Thanks for listening.